Now you can see a lot of smoke and fog. You have to acknowledge that perhaps the first and really most important conflict. You have many conflicts, but many folks say the first conflict you have is predicated internally. And out of that conflict, so many other conflicts arise. And you really have no idea. You know, when we talk about horrendous things occurring in the wider society, not always is it the case, but oftentimes it is the case. Someone will say, I was very upset, I was angry, and I let my anger dictate my action. Yeah, that's true. It happens all the time. So, our first conflict is internal, it's in the mind. Yeah. And all the rest of it, it's cloudy. It clouds our judgment. A smoke screen. Yeah. Smoke and fog. And when we come out of this, oftentimes folks will say, I didn't know what I was doing. So we have to be very careful. Yeah, we have to be very careful. And we're in a very precarious season. Lots of things can shroud our judgment. There can be a lot of smoke and fog that befuddles the mind. We have to use great discernment to try to avoid doing things that will probably lead to great amounts of regret. You know, I know folks are in deep, knee deep. And for some folks, this is not going to resonate until too late. We all know. But this is not really about now. See, folks say this is about now. No, not really. This is about later. I say this often, but it goes over a lot of folks' heads. This is not for now. This is for later. Later, when it hits, folks will say, wait, now I get it. It clicks. You know, oftentimes folks will say, this person or that person or this thing or that thing. And those things or people will be long gone. They'll have served their time. Their duration is long come and gone, but then it'll be anew again. And people will ascribe new things, new thoughts, new philosophies to it. Yeah, that happens all the time. So, as we enter this fall, this smoke, it's going to be thick, you all. You're not going to be able to really see clearly what it is. It's going to be a mystery. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. When the smoke and fog clears, you'll see it for what it is. So, I want to tell you all, don't worry. Don't worry about it. You know, some people worry themselves and worry and worry and worry. We used to call those folks worry warts. They just worry about everything. But you can worry yourself and really make yourself see worrying about things. Things that are in your control. Well, that's what you want to kind of deal with. You know, folks will deal with the broader conflicts of society. But the real conflict is internal, in oneself. Yeah. If you can master your own internal conflicts, external conflicts really dissipate. They don't go away, but they dissipate. Yeah. Yeah, this is tragically, this is going to be the case. It's almost certain. Whilst the smoke and the fog is present, a lot of folks, tragically, sadly, are going to do some things that, well, in my opinion, humbly speaking, I and many of us would not condone, nor agree with. But you know, you all, it's going to be your choice. You know, I often hear folks say, well, this is what this person or this thing would want me to do. I'm not fond of that thinking. Not at all. You know, we're all kind of given options and choices. What choices and options you all choose, that's up to you. Yeah? Individually, what you do when the smoke and fog is present is totally up to you. This is a season of great turmoil. And people will look externally and say, look at all the chaos, the turmoil. But generally, it's within. Yeah, it's internal. All of it arises in the mind. And vast majority is predicated on phobia, fear. Yeah, fear. Phobia can lead folks to do horrendous things. Very horrendous things. And that phobia can be used to justify horrendous and atrocious things too. Yeah. How many folks are scared of spiders? Raise your hand. Now, I'm going to admit, size of spiders, how some spiders, their appearance, all of those things can lead us to having phobias about something. But then as you garner more information, you're like, this spider is not harmful. Some are, some aren't. That's true of all species and creatures. Yeah. But if you just base your phobia off of the broad, I'm scared of spiders, and you don't look to see if it's a harmful one, yeah, then you just have a phobia. It's internal, and it can lead to external things that might not be appropriate. Yeah. So, shortly I would presume that you all will see smoke and fog in your society. Shortly. And it's going to lead to a lot of folks who, in my humble opinion, won't make appropriate choices. But for those of you all who will make appropriate choices, know that this is kind of necessary. The smog and the fog. The smoke and the fog is one really internally, but you'll see it externally. Because when you have so many internal issues that arise in a society, yeah, you're going to have external problems. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, yeah. Smoke and fog. Yeah. And these things generally happen. They repeat themselves. Folks come and they transition. And they forget movement and memory. Folks forget that these things always reoccur. Not often the same way they occurred prior, but with vast and many similarities. Yeah. Somebody said they forgot that in society that there were owls that came to the society. And that's because movement and memory is short when it comes to various creatures. But, this is not really new. This is old. Yeah. But it looks new again. Yeah. And the smoke likewise. That's not new either. That's old too. But it'll feel new again. Yeah. When the smoke and fog clears, it'll be different. And folks will say, well, this is different now. It'll be for everyone to try to figure out where they fit into the difference. Yeah, that's true. All of us will have to kind of reformat ourselves into something that's different. Different is scary. Yeah, it's scary. For a lot of people, it's like I've grown accustomed to things being a certain type of way. And now I have to readjust. They say it all the time, I cannot do it. Yeah, it's just too much for me. And I get that. I understand it. It can be. It can feel very overwhelming to the senses. But just like things that were old were new at some point in time, it'll become kind of the standard practice over time. And eventually folks will adjust to it, like they always do. Yeah. So it's best when you see a lot of smoke and fog outside to take serious precaution. Try to avoid inhaling smoke and fog. Yeah, it'll be best, and for those who are wise, you'll understand this. It'll be best not to put yourself in those type of situations to avoid it. Take proper precautions, as they used to say. And you'll just know the smoke and the fog will clear. And it will clear. How long it takes to clear, well, that's anyone's best guess. Sometimes smoke and fog in a society can take a long time. Yeah, it can take a long time. Days, weeks, months, years. But eventually it clears. Yeah. Generally speaking, folks say, why does the smoke and the fog appear? That's usually the question folks ask after it's cleared. Why did this appear in the first place? Because this is a hypothesis I have. We really don't know. Yeah, there's some things we don't know either. My hypothesis is that generally speaking, the smoke and the fog comes to us because in the society our judgment collectively gets cloudy. And we start seeing the smoke and the fog due to our collective consciousness being cloudy. That's just one hypothesis. But it's that season again, you all. Smoke and fog. Yeah. So you stay safe. We wish for the best for you. You know, some people say this is not wanting folks to be safe and healthy and all of those type of things. Not really. It really doesn't have anything to do with me or anyone else, really. It's a collective thing. This only occurs collectively. Like, I can't see smoke and fog and you not see it. The reason you see it and I'll see it is because collectively the society is inundated in it. Yeah. Conflict. The first conflict is internal. It starts in the mind. Then it works itself down to the rest of the body. Yeah. Some people's judgment, you've heard this before, they say it's cloudy. Yeah, it's cloudy. My judgment was clouded. But oftentimes they don't tell you what the clouds are. Yeah, they don't tell you where this smoke, this fog came from in the mind. They've done ample research, testing, studies. They still can't find out and make a proper determination where it comes from. So I would be a horrendous liar if I told you all definitively where it arises from. But we know for sure conflict arises in the mind. And it's predicated off of phobia and fear. And we know people do horrendous things, atrocious things, based off of fear. It's very difficult to overcome fear. Very difficult. Because fear is something that's learned, is taught. Somebody can say, that thing is scary. It's bad. It's evil. And you go and you examine it. And you're trying to figure out precisely what's bad, what's evil about it. And you can't make a precise determination. It's a bias, an internal bias that you have and no one else, right? So these are internal conflicts that become external conflicts. And then the smoke and the fog appears in the wider society. That's generally the way it's always happened. I can't say that it always will happen that way, but that's the way it's always occurred.